elakufaka kwi-witness protection program wenza iy'thembiso nje ey'ningi wena.
Yebo.
That is correct.
And do you perhaps know what the purpose of those promises were?
Inhloso yalezo iy'thembiso mhlawumbe uyakwazi ukuthi kungaba yini?
Angizazi, ngifuna uqamba angizazi.
I don't know. I wouldn't know their intentions.
Mhlambe khona into ayifuna ukuyiphusha yena ngazi but indlela nje angisengimthatha ngayo mina from now on hayi. Ngangimthatha nje ngoma kwashintsha lokho. Emva kwento eziningi azenzile nabezisho ziningi into ayishile ezingekho right.
Now, perhaps there could have been an agenda that she was pursuing or pushing, as the witness indicated. From now going forward, my perceptions about her are now different. I took her as a mother. There's quite a number of things that she did and that she had said, which may have now changed my perception about her.
Yes, but what made you change your perception of her?
Yini into eyenza ukuthi ushintshe umqondo ngaye?
Indlela ebengimchazela ngayo izinto yena ubezithatha ngethi uyangizwela kanti ufuna okunye kuloko engikushoyo akangithembe into enengiyisho mina ngitshela ukuthi konke ngimtshela kona ngimthatha njengoma kanti yena akangithembi kulezo zinto bengingazuza ngendlela yakhe yena.
Now, of the things that I would divulge to her, I would speak with confidence or confiding with her and perceiving her as a mother to me. Whereas on the other hand, she was having her own agenda of the things that I would have told her indirectly. She would be eliciting information beyond what I would be telling her.
Do you perhaps know what this agenda is?
Uyakwazi ukuthi le agenda yakhe bekuyini?
First of all, nokungisa nje kule protection program ngambona ukuthi nje angekho like ngekho interested kuyona uya insist ukuthi ngiye kuyona. Should khona into abayiphusha yena nokungisa ethuneni la kaSenzo. Khona into abayiphusha yena ngifile emsebenzini angilande khona ngiyethuneni.
No, firstly, the fact that you would insist that I should be a part of the witness protection program, that made me realize that there is indeed an agenda that she's pursuing, and as well as her taking me to Senzo's grave, that as well made me realize there is some agenda that she's actually pursuing.
And when did she take you to the deceased grave?
Wakuthatha nini wakusakhona lokho nje ethuneni kaSenzo?
I think 2019 because bafike emsebenzini.
I think it was during the year 2019 because they came at my place of work.
If you say they, who are you referring to?
Mauti bona ke bafika.
Wayengafike efike emsana nale thimba esebenzisana nalo. Thina mhlawumbe bayi3 or bayi2. Wayengafika odayethu.
She wouldn't arrive alone. She would be in the company of the team that she would be working with. It could have been 2 or 3 people that she would be in the company of.
Yes, just explain the circumstances under which you were taken to the deceased grave.
Manje akustrexele nje isimo la uke wathathwa ngaphansi kwaso ukuthi uyiswe khona laphana ke ethuneni kaMufi.
Angisho yena nje angisho bengixoxa naye ngikhululekile freely.
As I have already indicated that I would freely divulge to her.
Ngamtshela ukuthi angikhonanga nanokuthi ngiyovalelisa kahle kuSenzo because angifikanga ethuneni lakhe kanje.
And I even told her that I couldn't have a time or a quality time through which I was then I would be able to say a proper goodbye to Senzo at the grave because it was so crowded there at the graveyard.
So yena ungisa kwakhe lapho futhi wayinale idea ukuthi mina ngiyokhuluma enye into hayi le engihleze ngiyikhuluma kuyi.
When she took me there, perhaps she was under the impression
because even now statement esengazenza before bumbona ukuthi ufuna ngishintshe le statement indlela ayenza ngayo.
Even pertinent to the statements that I had furnished before or previously, you could see that, or one could see that she actually had a wish for me to change the content of those statements.
change them to what effect?
Ushintshe kanjani kuze kwenzakaleni okanye kuvelele ini mhlawumbe?
Njengalento yokuthi nje endlini akungenanga muntu. Akukaze ngishintshe leso statement.
Now, for an example, this point that inside of the house, there's nobody that actually got into the house. That point, I did not change it.
And mina iyangixaka leyo nto. Yazi ngivele ngiphela amandla because lapha endlini ayekho umuntu owumngani wami noma ngathi owayekhona ngaphandle kwasenzo mhlawumbe ngaba nomjoko. So angazi ukuthi ngingaprotect umuntu from lento ngoba ngizogainani mina.
Now, this confuses me and it leaves me hopeless. Right there inside of the house, I cannot say that there was another person which I would say that that person was actually my friend. Safe to say that the person that I knew there was Senzo, and Togo. So I didn't try to protect any person, but the impression that is, or the picture that is being depicted here, it is as though I was protecting somebody there.
So yena ubekafuna ukuthi ngibe nestatement sokuthi anginanga umuntu endlini. Afuna ukuthi ngichaze ukuthi ngisho ukuthi yaya nginanga umuntu endlini.
She actually wanted for me to say that there was nobody that got into the house. She wanted me to make part, for me to make the part of the statement that there was nobody that got into the house.
And angisiboni isidingo sokuthi ize ngiqamba amanga. Ngithi endlini anginanga umuntu kungena abantu.
No, I don't even see a need. Why would I lie about that and say that there was nobody that got into the house when knowing very well that there were people over there? It was my first time going to that house. My very first time.
So nje ziningi lo mama izinto azenzile. Ziningi izinto azenzile nje ezingekho right.
There's so many things that she did crookedly.
But ngiluthekile mina because ngazi ukuthi uma ngithatha njengomuntu.
Well, I was ngomqobo usho njalo ukuthi wena azange ushintshe lutho.
Angikaze ngishintshe statement ever since aqala istatement zami. Angikaze ngishintshe ngithi angingenanga umuntu endlini. Angikaze futhi asoze ngize ngife. Soze.
I've never changed my statement. I've never changed my statement. The initial statements that I had furnished to the it had always been like that. And until such time that I pass on, I will never change my statement. I don't see a need of me lying before this honorable court.
And ngifuna ukucacisa ecourt lokuthi istatement sami sokuthi kwangena abantu endlini bangena abantu endlini soze ngishintshe.
I want to emphasize that very point of my statement that says there's people that got into the house. It is indeed so. I will never change that statement. Indeed, the people got into the house. That's my emphasis.
Right. Mr. Mandela, just a couple of aspects. On the day of the incident, the 26th of October, 2014, you mentioned that alcoholic drinks were bought. Did you partake of any of those alcoholic drinks?
Oshilo ukuthi 26 is October 2014. Kukhona ke utshwala obathengwa. Ngabe oke wathatha ichaza khona laphana ephuzeni mhlawumbe lobo tshwala?
Yeah. In fact umuntu wayesendlini wonke ngaphandle kwamakheli nengane bekaphuza.
Yes, I partook in that liquor, and in fact every occupant of the house except for Kelly's mother and as well as the children.
And what was the state of your sobriety on the day?
Wena ke mhlawumbe ubudakiwe bungadakiwe?
Ya bengadakiwe ukuthi ngidakiwe. Ngeke ngidakwa amakana amathathu.
I wasn't completely drunk. I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't be completely drunk or made completely drunk or intoxicated of the 3 cans of liquor.
Because nalo leli sithatha I don't think laseliphelile.
Even the third can, I don't think it was finished. It was completely consumed.
Are you an occasional drinker or a regular drinker?
Wena ke ungumuntu ophuza ngeenkathi or uvamisile nje ukuthi uphuze ngenjwayelo?
Ngiphuza mangithanda, makuthanda mina. But ngiyaphuza nje utshwala ukuthi ngiphuza, but ngiphuza mangithanda.
Whenever I feel like consuming liquor, I do. I wouldn't say that I drink regularly, but whenever I want to drink, I do.
And how was visibility on the night in question, the evening in question?
Ngalobo busuku mhlambe ukukhanya bekunjani ukukhanya okwenza ukuthi kubonakale okanye kungabonakali bekunjani?
Bekukhanya.
It was lit. It was lit.
What was the source of light?
Yini into eyenza ukuthi kukhanye lapho?
Noma nginayo isho ukuthi yini nje kangona TV ayidlala but bekukhanya nje endlini. Kwakubonakala because kwase kulate.
I cannot point anything in particular as such because even the TV was playing. It was late in the house because it was late already.
Because if bekumnyama bengeke ngibone umuntu ongenile ukuthi nangu umuntu emla. Bengikwazi ukubona ukuthi ife kumnyama.
Now, if it was dark in the house, I wouldn't be able to see that there's a person that has just gotten into the house. I wouldn't be able to say there is a person standing over there.
You described the shot that you heard whilst you were there in the kitchen. Did you hear any other shots?
Oke wasitathela ke ngokuchuma kwesibhamu ngenkathi nisekitchen khona ke okunye ukuchuma okanye ukuchuma okunye kwesibhamu oke wakuzwa.
As for le into yamashot angazi mangaka amashot but ngaye ngezwe i1 angazi mangaka but ngayi le 1 yona yaqhuma ka i1 yangivala amadlebe sithi ngize ngibalekele ekamereni.
Now
So angeke ngisho ukuthi mangaki.
I cannot say how many of the gunshot sounds took place there. The very first one that deafened my ear is the one
And when you left the bedroom, did you see where the other persons were? Well, I'm sorry, when you left the kitchen, did you see where the other persons were?
mawusuka ke ngasekitchen uye wabona ke abanye abantu bona bebekuphi.
Ngizange ngibone ukuthi ubawo because ngabale yanga ekamereni. Ngabale ekamereni.
I do not see the respective positions of people that were inside of the house because I fled into the bedroom.
Ukuthi babale abangena kupha ngeke ngikwazi ukusho ukuthi benze njani because ngabale ngabashiya like ngawungena ekamereni.
As to whether they fled and they went where, I cannot also say because I ran and got myself into the bedroom. I left them there when I ran into the bedroom.
Now, you say you pointed out accused number 2 as the second suspect who was in the house. You described his clothing that he had a hoodie. Are you able to describe his features?
Uye wakhomba ke ummangalelo wesibili ukuthi omunye wabantu abangenile okanye abangeneleli abangena khona lapha endlini nokuthi ke ubegcoke ihoodie. Kwazile ke ukuphana ke ngencazelo ukuthi ubebuka kanjani.
Usho muphi lo wesibili or
lo ukhombe accused number 2.
number 2. Noma ngeke ngamchaza kakhulu but umuntu oke wambona awukazi udideko yena.
Even though I may not have had a very close reaction with him, but a person that you once saw like that, it's not easy for you to forget them.
Yes. But is there anything perhaps outstanding, anything that you notice about him?
Ngabe khona into egqamile nje eyikhethile ngaye oke wayibona?
Engakusho ijacket ewood ngoba wayengene egqoke ijacket ewood.
What I could say that it was a hoodie jacket because when he entered the house, he was having a hoodie on his head,
Yes.
Emude
and he was tall
compared to lo kuqala wayenza ama-dread.
in comparison with the one that had the dreadlocks.
Yes. What else?
No, kuphi okunye?
Enye into engayinothisa intshebe yakhe la wayenento ngathi ngazi bebiza ngani la and ekhathe you4 corner enentshebe nafu la wayikalela ngayitrinyiwe futhi.
He had all around the mouth and the chin, kind of a beard, and as well as just underneath the lower lip. At that bend of the lower lip, there was a bit of some hair as well there.
Yes, you said something about trimming.
Yes, I trim
Yeah. It was trimmed around about the mouth and the chin.
Yes. Anything else?
Khona okunye mhlawumbe ukukhumbulayo? No.
Now, for how long were you and Longwe outside to smoke?
Nime isikhathi esingakanani ngaphandle?
I'm sorry, you and Togo. For how long were you and Togo outside to smoke?
Siyaxolisa wena nomthoko nibe ngaphandle isikhathi esingakanani niloko nibhema lapho?
Akubanga isikhathi esikhulu kakhulu. Akubanga isikhathi esikhulu kakhulu.
It wasn't a long time.
Hamba 10 minutes.
Perhaps about 10
Akubanga isikhathi
minutes.
eside kakhulu.
It wasn't a very long time. It wasn't a very long time outside.
Nanokuthi masibuya asibuya ngasangena sasesima ngaphandle futhi. Phambi komnyango wasekitchen.
Futhi masibuya.
Masibuya ngithi saphe mina ngaphandle kwefence. So masibuya sabuya sama lapha ngasekitchen. Letho senzo azoma lapha mwe saxoxa lapho.
And further that, upon our return into the yard, we did not go inside of the house. We went and stood just closer to the kitchen door where Senzo also appeared and he stood by the door, by that kitchen door.
And in the total time that you spent outside before re-entering the house, so how long would you say it was more or less?
Mungasibekisela nje mhlawumbe. Mhlawumbe senze ukuthi nathatha isikhathi esingakanani ngaphandle. Nibhema senimile laphayana, usenze seminyango. Zonke lesikhathi.
Kodwa nala manga isikhathi nje mangathiwa ngiyas. Mhlambe boma 20 minutes or so.
Sisonke.
Sesixoxa la ngwazi saxoxa la ngaphandle kosimela. Mhlambe boma 20 minutes ekuhlangene isikhathi until qamuke lethi sesiyahamba yini.
That could be about 20 minutes at total from smoking outside and also standing next to the kitchen door there until such time that Kelly also appeared and said that we're now leaving. I'll estimate about 20 minutes.
And how long after having re-entered the house did the two persons enter into the house?
Mase seningenile
The
ke
two intruders.
seningene endlini kwathatha isikhathi esingakanani ukuthi kungene ke labangenelele about two.
Akubanga isikhathi eside kakhulu.
That as well was not a very long
Because
time.
yenzeke lento was something to 9
It was
from half past kuyale mangineshow kahle from half past kuyale to 9 kodwa.
Yeah, that as well did not take a very long time. This happened from 8:30 towards 9 o'clock or going up.
Did you see how Longo arrived there?
Uye wabona ukuthi uLongwe wafika kanjani okanye ngani?
Angimazi lo wafika kanjani. Angibanga nasikhathi sasingakhuluma naye.
I don't know how he got there, because we didn't even have time to talk, myself and him.
But when you went outside to smoke, were there any cars outside?
Mawuphuma ke okanye maniphuma ke niyobhema ngaphandle ngabe kwakhona ke imoto ngaphandle?
Yeah, bekhona ipolo elisemva kwemoto yasenzo eli-red.
There was a red Polo which was parked behind Senzo's vehicle.
On the premises or outside the premises?
No.
Ngaphakathi, ngaphakathi. Inside of the premises.
And when you took the deceased to hospital after loading him into his vehicle, what happened to that red Polo?
Uma nithatha ke lo mufi nimfaka emotweni we BMW nimisa esibhedlela. Kwenzakaleni ke ngale Polo le ebomvu?
Ayi angazi kwenzakalani ngalo. Angikhumbuli ngiphinde ngilibona nje angikhumbuli. Ngisho angikhumbuli ngiphinde ngilibona.
I don't know what became of it. I do not remember seeing it again.
Now, you say the deceased head was resting on you as you were taking him to the hospital. Are you able to say what his state was when you arrived at the hospital?
Uthi-ke umufi ikhanda lakhe beli lele phezulu kwakho. Ungakwazi ukusho ukuthi-ke isimo sakhe sempilo ngaleso sikhathi nimthatha nimsa esibhedlela ukuthi besinjani ubenjani.
Ayi kulokho angeke ngachaza kakhulu lokho ukuthi ube kanjani. Because wonke umuntu bekhuluma naye la emotweni. Because sanikwa nethawula ukuthi simvale ngakho bona kunethawula ngathi light blunyana. Esanikwa lona li face cloth nje.
No.
Sanikwa simvale ngalo la.
That I wouldn't be able to say exactly what was happening with the deceased or the state of health of the deceased at the time. Because I remember everybody was talking to him, trying to encourage him to stay awake. I remember further that there was a towel, light blue in color, that was then taken out to say that we should use it and place it on his wound.
Now, after the incident, when you eventually went to Melbourne to sleep there, was there any discussion with other persons regarding this, the case, the incident itself?
Manje ke emva kokuthi lesigameko sehlakale okanye senzeke emva kwalokho kwaba ukuthi seniya eMalberton niya khona ke uma nifika khona eMalberton seniyaxoxa ngabe khona okanye kuye kwaba nesikhathi la nifike naxoxa khona seniyatshelana ke ukuthi isigameko kwenzakalani ngabe sesaba khona lesi sikhathi esinjalo?
Yeah, ngicabanga sike saba khona because wafika uyena ubaba lo mfana lo uye wafika waxoxa ke la.
Ubaba lo mfana
Mfana kaLulongo.
Okay. Yes, I think there was a stage where there was some reflection of the incident, and because I remember that long as father arrived, and this matter was then reflected upon in terms of conversations.
Yes, what was discussed?
Kwakhulunywa kwathini?
I think ngiyaqala afika ibuza wabuza ngami kuyena uGesh bamchazela ukuthi umngane kaSenzo lona Dumelo.
I think the first thing that he actually inquired about was myself. And then Kelly and them informed him that this is Senzo's friend, Dumelo.
Then abunye ile nto ukuthi ambuza uthi ukuthi akafuni ukuthi aye eholding yena uKelly ahambe. So I think kwaba ingane ke problem.
Now the other thing that he wanted to establish, and I'm referring to Chico himself, that to Kelly, he said that wouldn't you want to go on a holiday? And I remember during that time she had a child, so she couldn't accept that offer.
Now, mention in these proceedings have been made of a person by the name of Soweto Mandlazi. Do you know that person?
Kukhona lelo gama ke Soweto Mandlazi. Soweto Mandlazi. Uyamazi lo muntu lo?
Yeah, ngiyamazi.
Yes, I know him.
Yes.
I know Soweto Mandlazi.
Can you explain to the court how you know him?
Ungacela inkantolo ukuthi umazi kanjani lo Soweto Mandlazi?
Ngimazi ngoSifiso Meyiwa.
I know him through Senzo Meyiwa.
Yes. And you've already said Senzo Meyiwa was the deceased brother.
Also kushilo lokho ke uthi uSifiso ongu mfoka bo Mufya ngisho?
Yes.
That's correct.
Yes.
Wafika naye ekhaya ni sahlala nabedani ngisaxoxa ke
Amaka wafika enaye.
wafika noSifiso ekhaya yes.
Ubani?
uSoweto lo Mandlazi.
Okay. Soweto Mandlazi came with Sfiso at home.
So wangitshela ukuthi uzobe bangichazela ukuthi lo mfowethu uzobenza incwadi ngoSenzo.
And then told me that this a particular brother of mine is going to be authoring or doing an autobiography pertaining Senzo.
So wacela ukuthi ke ngimsize ke because mina bengiclose noSenzo. So ngisho yonke into nje ekukhuleni kwethu ingozi uzokwenza incwadi. So ngamtshela ngale nto yokukhula kwethu into ebesizenza nami nazo.
And then he inquired about how we grew up, the growing up of Senzo, and I told him how we grew up together, myself and Senzo.
Yes.
Ngokuhamba kwesikhathi ukuthi angazi kahle ukuthi because lesikhathi saSoweto saqondana nalesikhathi sakaButhelezi. So
Now, I don't know exactly about how things happened there, because this Soweto's time or interaction coincided with that of Buthelezi.
because beku 2019 nangaleso sikhathi befika kumina.
Because it was 2019 even at the time that they came to me.
Yes.
So ngabona sekubhalwe ezinye izinto emaphepheni manje engingazikhulumanga nalo Soweto.
Now, I then observed some things that were written on the papers, things which I did not even divulge to Soweto.
Yes.
Then mangibona lezo zinto ne. So I decided ukuthi ngeke because nomthoko I think wayekhona kuleyo nto kwakhiwa kwale ncwadi le. Since naye umngani wethu. So masibona lezo zinto lezi eshiwe lo Soweto lo wakhona. Sa end up asisibona lezi zinto ayibhala la kusizinto lesizisho kuyo. Kwamele ukuthi sambe somvulela icase.
Now, when we realized that there are things that were written there, things which we did not furnish this Soweto man, because I think even Togo as well agreed with me. He could see that there were certain things that were put in that material that he had authored, and which we disagreed with. And we then decided that we should then go and lay a charge against him, because these are things that we never said to him.
The mention in these proceedings has also been made of a documentary that was flighted on Netflix that was produced by 1010 Films. Do you know anything about it?
Yes.
Ngabe khona ukwaziyo ngalokho with Netflix documentary 1010 Films.
Yes khona ngwazi. Before
Yes.
lapho nje siqale kuyena lo Soweto. Angimazi ukuthi incwadi wayenzela ukuthi ithengiswe just because of imali or wayenzela cause abantu bayithenga manje ibhalwe into engekho yonke le ncwadi.
Now, before we get to
Pandemic
that,
yonke le
before we get to that, I don't know what was this Soweto's intentions pertaining the authoring of that book. Whether did he author that book so that it can be bought, or was he intending to generate some sales on that book that he had generated? Ngoba uthi kwenzakalani?
Azikho izinto ezibhalwe kuleya ncwadi ezake zashiwa yimi
Because-
ezikuyona leya ncwadi.
Because there's nothing that is inside, or the content of that book has got nothing to do with what I had told him.
Yes.
Because me afike ekhaya ngamtshela ngokukhulwa kwami noSenzo up until ngizofika kule incident eyenzeka khona lapha eForce.
Because when he arrived at home, I narrated to him about how myself and Senzo grew up together, up until such time that we got to the stage of that incident that transpired in Vosloorus.
Yes.
So ngaxakeka mase kuthiwa there were no intruders ngathula ngathi hayibo.
I got confused when it was now said that there were no intruders. I got confused.
Which means umuntu onaleya ncwadi kusho ukuthi unencwadi engekho because yonke into ayibhale lapha ayikho.
Yes. It's as good as not having a book in their possession, because whatever it is that is written inside of that book, it's not true, or it's not there. It's worthless.
Yes. Can
Yeah.
you then tell the court about the Netflix documentary?
Ungatshela inkantolo ke nge-Netflix, i-documentary le ye-Netflix.
Yeah, i-documentary ngayenza
I did a documentary.
nayo ngiyenza ngoba kufike uSifiso ekhaya uSifiso Meyiwa kwaphinde kwafika uSiya lo wakubukazini wakhe bengicela
No.
ukuthi ngenze le documentary.
And what actually motivated me or compelled me to do it is the fact that Sfiso came together with Sia, the cousin. They came and tried to beseech me to do that documentary, or become a part of that documentary.
And abafikanga ngosuku olulodwa.
And they did not all come on the same day.
Waqale kwafika uSifiso kwase kufika uSiya.
The first person that came was Sifiso, thereafter came Sia.
Yes.
Ngase because babefuna nezithombe futhi izithombe nganginazo kwicamera yami. Khona icamera bengihlezi ngihamba naso. So babefuna nezithombe ke zami noSenzo ezikule camera le.
Now they also were looking for the photographs that were in my camera. There's a camera that I would usually be traveling around with, which depicted myself and Senzo on the pictures. They also wanted those photographs that were there.
Yes.
So after sengiyenzile sekufike bona ke ngavuma ukuyenza lelo because babefika labantu ukuqala ngaqala nganqaba kwaze bafika umunye ngagcina sengivumile ke nami.
Now, I eventually gave in to their request, or to their pleadings. They kept on coming, so but they persuaded me. Eventually, I gave in to it.
Yes.
Sagcina ngagcina ngiyenzile ke idocumentary nalabantu base 1010 films.
So
Ngabanika nale ithombe ke saba neagreement kuzona.
now I then eventually became part of that documentary, and there was an agreement that was drawn that has to do also with the photographs, which they requested of me that I should, finish them with.
And the role that you played in the documentary, is it different from the evidence that you gave today?
Iqhaza walidlala lapha mhlambe ke iqhaza elihlukene nobufakazi obulethela enkantolo.
Hayi akukho kuhlule because bangenzisa the very same thing engayenza mhla ngiya kusenzo.
No, there isn't any difference there, because they led me to do what I did on the day when I went to Senzo.
Now, finally, Mr. Madlala, have you ever attended an identity parade where the accused were present?
Ngabe ikhona ikhomba parade oke waya kuyo lapho abamangalelwa ababekhona kuyo?
Ayikho.
No, there isn't.
When was the very first opportunity that you saw the accused?
Ithuba lakho lokuqala lokuthi ubone abamangalelwa la enkantolo kwaba nini? Kwaba lenze kanini?
Lenzeka ngifika la ecourt.
The very first time that I saw the accused persons was here at court. It happened here at court.
When was that?
Bekunini?
Noma ngabe
On that very day, because I was the first witness that had access to the house that came to testify before this honorable court. And I cannot remember.
No. You've already pointed out accused number 2 as the second suspect who was in the house. What enabled you to recognize him as a person who was in the house?
Usuke wamkhomba ke lo mangalelo wesibini njengomnye wabantu bebekhona laphana endlini abangeneleli. Ngasho ke khona kanjani ukuthi ungamkhomba ukuthi uyena?
njengoba ngithi makunalelo khuze khona endlini. Usenzo khathi empress embambe izandla embambe ngesandla zoku zakhe lesandla sala. Ngasondela mina ngizoshaya kuyena.
Now, as I have already indicated earlier, that Senzo, with both of his hands, got hold of his upper arm and pinned him against the wall. And there's a demonstration that the upper arm was sort of pinned in a crucifixion manner, and that both of the arms, or both of the hands of Senzo, were on the upper arms. And then at that time, that's when I also went and threw my blows against him. Threw the blows against the intruder.
Nanokuthi ke umuntu makwambona kunzima ukuthi ungakwazi ukumbona masumbona. Kunzima ukuthi ungangambona. Umuntu makwambona before, especially ukuthi ngeke ungakwazi ukumbona.
Now further, that if you once saw a person and you happen to see the person again, it would be difficult for you not to recognize this person when you see them the second time around.
Is there anything specific perhaps that enabled you to recognize him?
Ngabe khona into ethize mhlambe ekhethile enza ukuthi ukwazi ukumbona okanye ukumkhumbula ukuthi uye lo?
Angeke ngize ngichaze kakhulu kulokho, but ngiyambona ukuthi uyena. Angithi ngayenza i-ID parade yokuqala, azange ngibone mina. Why ke manje ngizosukela yena? If bengangayingani le ID parade idilo ngikhomba umuntu ongekho. Ngiyambona kahle yena.
By saying that it was him. Isn't it so that I went to an ID parade and I could say that there isn't any person that I'm recognizing on the lineup of people that were at the ID parade? Why would I then point at the wrong person when knowing very well this is a wrong person? It is for that matter that when I saw him, when I got an opportunity to see him again, I was then able to say, it is him.
And now uyakwazi.
And even he himself knows that. It doesn't mean that he doesn't know. He knows it.
Ukwazi kahle lo.
He knows it very, very well.
What does he do? You say ukwazi kahle lo.
Ukwazi into njengoba ushilo ukwazi kahle lokho.
Ngikhisho ukuthi ngendlela esasiclose ngayo eduze kwakhe naye.
The reason why I'm saying that is because the distance, the closeness, or the range, or the proximity that we had, myself and him,
Ngeke ukuthi naye akangibonanga.
it is not going to be true to say that he did not see me. He wouldn't say that he didn't see me, because I was able to see him as well.
And this police officer that you mentioned, that you regarded as a mother, do you know if there was a second docket that was opened?
Yabona leli phoyisa othi wena umbuka ububona umama uyakwazi ukuthi mhlambe kwaba ke ne docket lesibili
indaba yalo muntu unesikhathi sokudlala lo mama ngiyalazi le docket elivuliwe ngiyalazi ngangezwe ngayo.
Well, you see, where this person is concerned, I would say that she's got time to play. She's got some time for games. I know about that document. Sorry, that docket.
Ngifuna ngasebenza lelo docket ave ngangijabule azochaza kahle yonke le nto elapha ukuthi uyenze kanjani. Angazi wena ufuna achaza ukuthi uyenze kanjani yonke le nto lapha kule docket.
If work could be done on that docket, I'd really be happy for her to come and explain how did it come about that she compiled that docket. Really, I can't wait to have her explain how did it come about that she put that contents of the docket the way that she did.
Thank you, my lord, that is all.
What's the time?
It's 10 to 3.
It's 10 to 3.
Can you start now? I think my lord can start tomorrow. I think maybe this is tired.
Hayi mayifuna ukuqhubeka ngeze kulungile. Angeze.
Okay, listen,